What up, everybody? Got my water right here with me. Move it out the way. I just got done watching LaVar Ball, you know what I'm saying, on CNN. Not thank the president for supposedly helping get LeAngelo Ball them out. Let's see what Stephen A. Smith said about it, because what I heard LaVar saying was, man, you ain't bring my kid home. You know what I'm saying, on your plane with you. So why I gotta thank you? So I don't know if you did something that is gonna get out. He's probably gonna get out anyway. But I'm glad he out. But why I gotta thank you? Because you went over there. I don't know what you said to that man. I wasn't sitting there. But, you know what I'm saying, he ain't doing nothing but shoplift, you know? I know shoplifting here, shit, it ain't that much, but there is probably a crime. They probably get 3 years, but they gave the stuff back. So, I don't know. Over there, it'd probably be different, but if he was here and he got caught shoplifting, you know, still got this code. But, you know, I don't know. Let's check out what Stephen A. Smith's saying.
Does he have a point?
Yeah, it's good advice. I mean, especially the Marshawn Lynch stuff, right? Like, why is the president weighing in on that? That's it. And the answer is, and I don't know if the answer, like, it certainly involves this. It's because it's an emotive issue. It's because it's an issue people can relate to. It's not of great national security importance or anything like that. It has nothing to do with our economy.
He shouldn't be weighing in on that shit anyway.
Really, nothing.
That's how you know that he's unfit for president.
A substantial issue, but it's an emotive issue. It creates a strong feeling in the audience. That's right. Don't sit for that anthem and stand for that one. You know, they shouldn't. They should be grateful. And the only question I have is this because the president actually feels it himself and then does it? Is it because he's manipulating people cynically? Or is it a manipulation of people that's a result of this is really the way the president feels? But I'll tell you this, Stephen A. LaVar Ball is a private citizen. You can argue how private. And, you know, Abraham Lincoln wasn't getting involved in beefs with public beefs using the bully pulpit to bully private citizens.
Social media back then.
And I find it unbecoming of the president. LaVar Ball is in the entertainment business. Really, that's what he does. He's a reality star, I suppose. So is Trump, and maybe he can relate. They can relate to each other that way. I do think that if someone gets your kid out of a potential Chinese prison sentence, that you should probably be happy about that and grateful to them for doing that. I agree with that. You should say thank you. And by the way, as unbecoming as I found it that the president tweeted, you should say thank you. He's right about that. Not very presidential to mention it, but he's right about it. And LaVar should say thank you. And Kerr's right. If we, the high road for us is to ignore all this stuff.
Well, for me, I think that Steve Kerr is absolutely right about Lonzo. He's absolutely wrong about Trump. LaVar. He's absolutely right about LaVar Ball. He's absolutely wrong about the president. The reason I say he's wrong about the president is because whether we like it or not, this man is the president. He's legislating, he's involved in legislating policy that affects us. And as far as I'm concerned, every damn thing about him should be reported, including the fact that he elects to talk about this instead of Senator Roy Moore. But that's a different subject for another day. It would be nice to hear him speak about that. Okay, but we suspect why he won't talk about that. That's a different subject for another day. My point is that when it comes to the president, he is not sitting in the privacy of his own mansion, penthouse, or whatever the case may be, minding his business and living his life. He is trying to impact the lives, or he does impact the lives of over 350 plus million American citizens in this country, and he represents us globally, as unfortunate as that may be in some people's eyes. That's the reality. You don't get around that. So I don't agree with Steve Kerr about that. As it pertains to LaVar, LaVar comes across as incredibly ungrateful. If there's one thing that Donald Trump was right about, is the fact that, again, he didn't really have to do what he did. It was a good gesture on his part.
Get my kid out of a Chinese prison sentence. I'm saying thank you.
There's no harm in that. And of all the things that people have said about LaVar Ball, and I have come to his defense because I thought that the criticism of him at times has been far too excessive, this is one where legitimacy is attached to him in a very strong way in terms of the criticism, because if you can't be appreciative of that, of your son was one of 3 individuals who decided to go to another nation and commit theft. attempt to commit theft, just doing, stealing sunglasses from not one but 3 different Louis Vuitton stores. Damn. This is a reality. And so the bottom line is that there's no defense of that. The kids were wise enough, although via a statement, they were wise enough to apologize. Steve Alford did an exceptional job of representing UCLA and expressing the contrition. If you are LaVar Ball, what's the harm in that? Okay, because your son put himself in that position. Nobody else did that. And so for the president to come and do that, there's nothing wrong with saying thank you.
It's 2 big egos and neither wants to give. And the president, it's beneath him to do this, but obviously nothing's beneath him along these lines. And LaVar Ball, check your ego a little bit. Your kid was facing.
Well, let's not shove that aside, because LaVar Ball was in China.
Yeah.
At the time, forget the president for a second. He was in China when the camera was in his face, and he was,
he said thank you.
When he was, I think it was his wife who was in a wheelchair. He said at that time, it's no big deal. No, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me.
So what I'm saying is that you're in another country. All right, this ain't America now. It ain't for you. It ain't for you to determine that. And that was very dangerous on his part, because some people speculated that's what held it up.
Right.
Because they thought he said that.
I agree. I agree. It's 2 out of control egos, right? One I'm not concerned about because he's only a reality TV star, and the other guy who was once only a reality TV star is the president, so I'm more concerned about that. But I want to bring up the Marshawn Lynch thing, because I think that speaks more to what Steve Kerr was talking about. What do we do here, Stephen A? On the one hand, the president tweeted about Marshawn Lynch. On the other hand, we know it's an obvious attempt at manipulating or distracting from, to get everyone talking about it, right?
About that
instead of important things,
right?
Because it's an emotive issue. It's an easily accessible, easy to understand issue that'll play with his base, and other people will also be. It's easy. It's a discussable point, right? And so at the very least, he can get sports shows talking about that and distracting. Mm-hmm. So what do? Do we take the bait, or do we exercise editorial discretion and say we see that for what it is? We're not going to touch that.
Man, I disagree.
I
disagree. Like they said, all this is right. Everybody is right about LaVar Ball. He was wrong. He should apologize. But sometimes, man, if you can't see what somebody done for you, you know what I'm saying? If you can't see it, then you want to kind of say, I gotta thank you for what? I don't know what you done, But yeah, man, that's crazy. Donald Trump shouldn't even address that. He should have, talked to him privately or something, not addressed it through the media, because now the media took a hold of this shit, and this is blown out of proportion again. Yeah, he should be grateful, but in the same sense, he feel like we in China, it's nothing but petty theft. So 3 to 4 years here he wouldn't get that, but there they hold still into a higher standard. So from that standpoint, LaVar Ball should be grateful. He should say thank you or something like that. But now if it was here, we wouldn't even be talking about this, because you ain't gonna get 3 to 4 years for it. You get a slap on the wrist, a fine, or something like that. So let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. All right, man, I'm out. Peace out.